Can you share the story behind Valley Milk Simply Bottled?
The kids kind of came up with a name, believe it or not. So the kids came up with a name, and we grabbed that name, and here we go. So it's exactly what it is. We bottle the milk, and we just simply bottle it. We milk the cow, chill it, and we bottle it. It's as simple as it gets.
What inspired you to focus on unpasteurized, non-homogenized raw milk?
I had a conventional dairy myself as well. It just wasn't fun. It was more of the same old same. It was more of, right? I mean, you have to compete with everybody else. You have to give the antibiotics. You have to do the hormones. You have to do all this to be able to stay in business. And seeing the cows and seeing, it wasn't a road that I wanted to go down. This is something I've been at this now for, I think 9+ years. And the first 7 years or so, my God, I don't know how I made it. I thought I would be broke for sure. Every week was, if it doesn't get better by next week, I'm done. If it doesn't get better by next week. I was borrowing money to go deliver milk. I had absolutely no money. I was done. I was done many times. So what we do is we have a farmer in Nevada that has the non-GMO, no herbicides, no pesticides, that we have a pretty good working relationship with. And that's the hay that we feed the cows. We give them a little bit of grain, it's the same thing. And then we get apples and carrots from a juice place up north in Sacramento. And that juice goes to the Trader Joe's, to the Safeways. It's organic, certified organic. So we use the pulp from that to put in our feed to kind of make the hay a little softer. There's a lot of vitamins and everything also in there. And the feed is very fresh. The cows eat it. They do real well on it. So everything that we feed the cows is natural and organic. And no hormones, no antibiotics, no nothing. So we try to keep the cows as natural as possible. The conventional dairies, it's what a mess. I mean, the more that people know, the crazier you become. It's a mess. The conventional dairies, anything from blood to the chicken manure to just, it's a mess. I mean, it's an absolute mess. That milk is sold, and they make cheese with that milk, and they do all this stuff. And I think it doesn't matter if you buy the milk here. It truly doesn't. It doesn't matter where you buy your food. But a person ought to know where the food comes from. A person ought to know how that food was harvested, how everything was. There's no need to buy garbage. There's not. There's so much good products out there. And there's no need to be sheep and follow everybody down the cliff. It's again, if not this milk, some other milk, but there's so much garbage out there on the market that it's insane. So we get that delivered bi-weekly.
Okay.
The hay, we've already made a deal with a farmer this year. We are getting, by the end of the fall, we'll have 52 loads of hay, so 25 ton in a load, and we'll have 52 loads tied up till the spring. So that'll be enough hay to get us through the winter. So we already have that deal with the farmer. The hay will be covered. We have the deal with the truckers, so we get a load and a half, 2 loads a week throughout the winter. So yeah, absolutely no antibiotics, no hormones, no GMO, no corn, no soy, nothing. After the cow is done with her cycle and she doesn't milk anymore, we started a cow sanctuary. And we have a board. It's called Our Cow Sanctuary. We got the CC 502. So it's a nonprofit. If people want to donate to it, it's not what this is about, but it's a nonprofit. And all the cows that when they retire here, they go there and no cow here gets slaughtered. So the milk that you get, that cow will not be slaughtered. And that's more for the Indian culture and their belief in the cow. So you guys have been very good to us, and right, so we follow that. Yes, no, thank you. Yeah, the Indian community has been very good to us.
How do you ensure the safety and quality of your raw milk products?
So even though we don't use antibiotics, every batch of milk we have to test for antibiotics. We have an on-site lab, and then we do a third-party lab as well. We have the state inspector and the county inspector. They swing by whenever they'd like. We get tested for the pathogens. We get tested for, now we're getting tested for the bird flu as well. We get TB tested. We get all these tests. We have to have our cows TB tested and brucellosis tested every year. They test for coliform, LPC, SPC. They test for everything. And so the milk has to be clean. It has to. And if the milk is not right, I don't try to pawn it off as anything else, because you're only hurting yourself and whatever you worked for. So we make sure that it's done correctly.
Can you describe your milking process? What makes it special or different?
Okay, so our milking, what we do is we don't use the sprinklers. So in not using the sprinklers, I think a lot of the dairies kind of got away from that. But the coliform, you have no problems with the coliform not using the sprinklers. When the cow comes in, we pre-dip it. So we use 1% iodine, 10% glycerin. And what we do is it's food grade, and it's the same iodine that when you would go to the hospital and you get operated on, they'll scrub you down with that to start off with, to make sure it's all clean before they start. So we use that iodine, we pre-dip. So before we'll dip them, then we'll wipe down, we'll let that sit there for at least 15 seconds, and then we'll wipe down the teat. Our towels are dampened with a little bit of Clorox. So we put half a gallon of Clorox in a 5-gallon pail. We fill the rest of it up with water, and then we kind of put that over the towel. So we sterilize the towel, that the teat is sterilized, and then we wipe the teat down. After we do that, it's well cleaned, then we check the milk. And then we'll milk the cow. When the cow is done, we will put the teat back on. So that way the cow stays up for 15 minutes or so, and that the end of the teat will seal. So that way no bacteria, nothing goes up there. That's why there's always food up at the food bank. So when the cow gets out, she goes get a drink of water, she can eat before she goes lay down. That gives it plenty of time for that teat to seal and no bacteria going up there.
What distinguishes A1 and A2 milk type, and why do you offer both?
So the A1 and the A2, it's the casein in the milk, the different proteins. The A2, our A2, has 0.004 of the casein in it. So if you're lactose intolerant, the A2, you will not have any problems with the milk, with the cheese, with anything. The A1 is more of a European cow. They found that gene in India, by the way, right? Because they went to India, and people were drinking milk in India, and they did not get sick. And then this guy goes back to his country, and the milk was bothering him. So he figured out that, and that's why he patented that under his business name. So that's why there's a patent on it. So we cannot use A2. He patented the gene. So we use A1 illicit tested. We used a lab out of Fresno, and that's how they determined the casein in the milk. So we just use A1 illicit tested. I don't have the money to fight a lawsuit or anything, so I don't want to put A2. I'm not that ballsy. So we just use the A1 illicit tested. That's our A2, the brown label. The green label is our A1. The A1, when he went back to his country, he was having problems, but the A1 cows are more European cows. They're hybrid, and they kind of got away from that gene, right? A lot of artificial insemination, a lot of this, trying to elevate the cow a little bit more to get more bang for your buck, if you would. So that's where the A1 milk is at.
What feedback do you typically receive from your customers about your raw milk?
So it's like I was talking a little bit before. I don't see us selling milk, right? So we sell milk, yes, but what we're selling is we sell comfort food. So if you have not tried our milk, the first time you try the milk, if you do what you would do in India, you boil it, you put it in your tea, and you drink it. If you close your eyes, you could remember your mom doing this for you. You could remember the smells, the tastes, and it's like a euphoria of different senses that come back to you, I believe. So for just the sake of argument, you ought to try some of that in the tea, and I believe that you'll get that effect. The milk is a good product. I know that like the Indian folks, they like to boil it. It's taboo to drink it the way it is. We drink it just the way it is, right? I mean, from all these things that are in place, as safe as this milk is, we drink it just the way it is.
What message would you like to share to Spruno customers who are trying your raw milk for the first time?
Let's do this. For the first time, people that are using our milk for the first time, if you guys would like to order the milk, if for any reason, if you're not happy with the milk, we'll give you your money back. So that way it cuts out any hesitation. So if you're a first time user of the milk, please take the milk. If you do not like it, we will give you your money back, no questions asked. Stand behind your product. If you can't do that, there's no sense in being in business. Yeah. So I've had people that come out and they say, Joe, the first 2 or 3 glasses were just wonderful. I really enjoyed the milk. But after the milk wasn't that great. And after speaking with this gentleman for a while and everything, come to find out he was just pouring the milk into the glass, and the first 2 or 3 glasses had all the cream. And then afterwards it was just skim milk. So everybody has their different things, and this is why, but I think for the most part, especially the Indian folks, it's comfort food. And try some in the tea, try to make any product just like you would in India. If you boil it, I believe they call it the malai up on top, you will get that. You'll get a nice rich malai. So again, there's really nothing to lose. If that's something you guys want to do, more than happy to accommodate there.
How do you see the role of local farms like yours in shaping the food industry?
I truly believe that people have to come out and they have to support the small one. Again, if not mine, any of them. The industrial people are coming in and they're just ruining everything. Right? It doesn't matter what industry. Everything is down to the penny, and it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter vegetables. It doesn't matter what it is but the small farmer, you're going to pay a little bit more. You are, but at the end, if you know where your food comes from, you can see it, you can taste it, you can meet people, and I truly believe that we're getting away from that. And we keep on going down the road we're going. The doctor has a lot more medicine to cure whatever it is that you're going to come up with. And then the partnership that we're forming now as well. Looking forward to this arrangement, and I think this should work out for everybody.
How do you think consumers will benefit from the convenience of ordering your milk through Spruno?
So everybody's got busy lives, right? It never gets busier all the time. The kids go to soccer, you got dance classes, late from work, raining, car won't start, whatever it may be. This is a good platform to have the milk delivered straight to your house, and it should benefit both parties, well, all three of us.